Most kids resent a dad who's constantly pushing them.
Let's go.
But not Rick Hoyt.
We can do this.
For years, Rick has been pushed, pulled, and carried by his dad, and he loves it.
Here they come!
That's because Rick, a wheelchair quadriplegic since birth, and his father Dick together have competed in over 65 marathons. So when you see Dick Hoyt pushing his son around, you're witnessing extraordinary devotion. Pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
Live from our newsrooms brings back our hit news network, SNN, with many news anchors like Arthur Brooks, Addison Hayden, and Beatrix Gemma.
Brings you stories about the news worldwide. Tune in on Atlanta's #1 stations,
Swanky 93.3 and The Heat 94.6 radio stations.
To get the latest news today, listen on all major audio platforms like Spotify, iHeart.Radio, Audacity, Apple Podcast, Stitcher Podcast, Google Podcast, YouTube, and more.
Pass it on.
Here's my bucket list for the day. Read an article on a news subject. Say only nice things about others. And listen to everyone's opinions. Because making things better requires change. Now, these changes aren't going to show up on your news feed, but they're things I can do. So change something today. It's not going to change the entire world, but it's going to change your world. Change is in you.
Pass it on.
From PassItOn.com.
Atlanta's #1 radio stations.
Swanky 93.3 and The Heat 94.6 radio stations
Has you covered. From our studios to our newsroom at K.L.P. Entertainment.
Listen on all major audio platforms like Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audacity, Apple Podcast, Stitcher Podcast, Google Podcast, YouTube, and more.
TunePocket.com.
Swan. You couple things before we begin. Echo Effect is motherfucking back. Y'all follow me on the Instagram. You already know it's the Echo Renaissance all the way. Keep up with it. Don't fall behind. It's Vlogmas, bitch. Come on now, like. You guys need to keep it going, bro. That could evolve. Your boy's on Spotify and all platforms. Run It Back is on SoundCloud right now. Go run that up. Go run that up. Don't be a hater. It goes hard. Pockets Cheap is on Spotify, it's on iTunes, it's on iHeartRadio, Deezer. It's on Tidal. It's on all platforms, bro. Go run it up, bro. If you want to make a little real little TikTok out of it, it's Pond there too, bro. I promise you. Go run it up now. We worked, Young JJ and I really work hard on these tracks. Let It Rain on SoundCloud. Right now, we work hard. We work hard on this shit. Really appreciate if y'all would go respect that, go rep that, and go really show your love and, you know, honest feedback. If you think it's shit, yeah, you think it's shit. You think it's good, though? We appreciate that. Run it up, share with your friends. We trying to make it out here. I missed a week last week for the podcast, but obviously I'm not missing this week because I really need to come on here and tell y'all some truths. We are almost a year. Like, we're about to next episode is gonna be officially the 1-year anniversary of Unfiltered, Unadulterated, Unapologetic. Sorry, I'm yawning a lot. I'm recording this at 12:33 a.m. I apologize. I just want to come in and drop some truths on y'all because a lot of people be out here thinking a lot. You be out here on social media, you be looking, you be seeing what people are saying. A lot of people are misguided. I want to come and really drop some truths on y'all. So again, as per usual, if your feelings are hurt in any way, shape, or form, you could fucking go see a therapist for that shit. Go get therapy, go see a psychiatrist. That ain't got nothing to do with me, my nigga. I promise you that. I can tell you that much. It ain't got nothing to do with me. So you better figure that shit out on your own. That have nothing to do with me. All right. So what we're gonna do? It's okay. No particular. Pardon me. In no particular order. We're gonna list shit off. And I'm gonna tell you these harsh truths, these harsh realities. Whether you want to believe them or not is up to you. That's great. I'm just telling you, obviously, this is a combination of subjectivity and objectivity. What does that mean? It is my opinion, but it is still true. I'm sorry to say. I'm just gonna get right into it. So one thing that people really think, or some people really don't understand, is that you are not as interesting as you really think you are. You're not. Like, I promise you that. There ain't a damn thing interesting about the vast majority of the human beings alive right now. November of this year, 2022, we just passed 8 billion people. That's an incredible milestone, you know, like that's incredible. That's mind-boggling to even think about. 8 billion people just together living on Earth. But 95% of those people are so boring. Y'all don't do nothing. I'm so sorry. No, I'm not. I'm not sorry for anything, bro. I'm sorry for absolutely not a damn fucking thing. On a Conor McGregor thing, I'd like to say I'm sorry for absolutely fucking nothing, because I'm just keeping it real. A lot of people, they be online, posting pictures of food, posting pictures of what they're doing, posting pictures of this, videos, this, that, and the other, because their lives are boring. They don't do anything. Not ambitious. Everybody's a follower. You're just sadly not as special, not as intriguing, not as interesting, not as important as you think you are. There are people who are very interesting. There are people who are intriguing, who are out here, you know, doing their thing. But unfortunately, chances are you're not one of them. To keep it a buck. And again, don't be mad at me, oh Coco. Well, you know, like, what, you must think you're all high and mighty, this and that. First of all, I am the almighty King Coco. Second of all, it's not one of those things. It's not a I'm better than you type thing. It is simply just you're not interesting. Oh, I hate to break it to you, but I love doing it. So, you know, another thing that y'all just really, again, man, maybe this doesn't apply to you. So if it doesn't apply to you, I don't want to hear the complaining. I don't want to hear the bullshit. I don't want to hear the crying. But another thing that's just that y'all aren't getting is a lot of the vast majority. I do not care. This might be what they call it, hot takes or hot pocket or whatever the fuck. But 99% of the people in your life, 99%, do not give an absolute fuck about you. This is a truth that a lot of us really need to understand. I had to find this out the hard way. You look around in your life and really think about it for a second. How many people are really invested in your lives? How many people are really invested or care to the nth degree about what you're doing? How many people are supporting all of your dreams? How many people are there for you when you need them? How many people listen to you when you speak? How many people take your advice? How many people want to be with you, want to spend time with you, want to see you? Think about all these things when you think about what I'm saying right now. Listen to the words that I'm saying. These people that you call friends, best friends, sisters, brothers, family, loved ones, significant other, partner, girlfriend, boyfriend, you know, like all these different things, all these different terms, these endearing things, all the time that you spend together, look at them with a lens. Go through them with fine-tooth comb. Really think for a second. Are these people really with me? Chances are they are not. That is just the truth. A lot of people be envious of their best friends, of they soulmates, you know? A lot of people be hating, be angry. A lot of people be out here infuriated, downright despicable, like absolutely blood-boiling thing. Seeing you succeed, seeing you out here doing your best, seeing you out here being successful, like doing great things, you know, they see you doing that and they're so angry. I promise you, they're so angry and they want you to fail and if not worse, die. There are so many people that you need to be looking out for. Most of them in your lives right now who are really truly not rooting for you for the best. They're looking out for themselves. They will not look out for you. These are the people that if it came down to it, you're hanging off a cliff, and they had the choice, grab you or to grab something else that they want. Isn't you, I don't know, not another person, maybe it's an object or whatever. Would they even help you up? If it's no higher, sometimes people feel like they need to be in these extreme situations. Actually, a lot of times we feel like we need to be in these extreme situations to see someone's true colors. Well, I agree with that to a degree. There are also very simple things that can show you that people just aren't really with it. They're not really with it. I don't think they're about it. Tuck is cheap. Listen to now on Spotify right now. I mean, there's really subtle things that can really show you, you know what I mean? Like, again, like I said, how they react when you're going through it, how they react when you're winning. Are they there when you're winning? Are they there for the journey, or do they only come at the end? Pause. Are they there? Like, again, all these things you need to look out for, but that's really a harsh truth that people really don't understand. A lot of people think that's just a joke. Right? I mean, a lot of people I don't think get that these people really, they're not in it for you, bro. And a lot of them, most of them, almost all of them are not ever going to be in it for you, like ever. Here's another harsh truth. This is from my black people out there. A lot of the people will be out here, and they are not black. When they're not around you, they be absolutely abusing the N-word. Abusing it. The N-word. Abusing it. I'm not only pausing for dramatic effect. I'm pausing just because, like, what else is there to say, you know? Again, even people in my life who I have to sit there and be like, you know? You know, like, again, you're not saying it around me, right? You know, again, like, it's just as trifling if you're saying it behind closed doors. Stop doing that. I'm gonna just leave that one at that. Another harsh truth that people don't like to acknowledge. People do not like to acknowledge this. Is all the pain and suffering that you go through emotionally, mentally, in relationships and stuff like that, you allow it and you like it. Yeah. You allow it and you fucking love it. You love it. You love being hurt. You love having something to complain about. You love posting on Twitter. You love reposting to Instagram. You love going on TikTok and being validated. You love believing in what you believe in so that it can validate what you did. Love having that feeling of you being right. You love that shit. So that's how you keep doing it. People will purposely put themselves in situations that will hurt them so that they may have something to talk about. This goes back into our first point about lives not being interesting, about you not being important. You need to feel important. People like to feel important. People like to feel heard. People like to feel special. So they will put themselves in situations to make themselves look like the victim so that then people feel bad for them. So that then, I don't know what the end goal is there because that couldn't be me. But at a time it was me. In high school, that was me. A few years ago, that was probably me too. But I do everything in my power these days. Listen, man, if I do something, and I know I'm doing something, if I put myself in a situation, I'm not like, what am I really going to say? I did that to myself. You like the people that you like, but a lot of people don't want to admit that. They want to blame the other person. Gonna blame this person. Oh, all niggas ain't shit, all bitches ain't shit, men ain't shit, women ain't shit, whatever. Again, you want to blame the other person. You don't want to blame yourself. No accountability. Because again, people always flock to the victims. People feel bad for the victims. People want to be around the victims. No one wants to be around the villain. No one wants to be around the villain. But ironically, you become the villain when you're sitting here capping, making these things up, not taking accountability. That's capping, bro. That is capping. Take responsibility for some shit that you did, bro. Take responsibility. Say, instead of niggas ain't shit, you just aren't shit. You like to be treated like absolute fucking dog water, but like absolute fucking snail penis juice. You like to be treated that way. And thus, you get hurt over and over and over and over again. And you're a sick fuck. So you like it, you sicko. You sicko. You like that shit. Don't sit here and pretend like you don't like it. You like that shit. You like that shit. Like, you very... Come on. Like, are you kidding me? What was that, like 4 or 5? I don't even know at this point. I think that was 4. I think that was 5, actually. A next thing that I think is a harsh truth that, you know, people don't understand is that a lot of people, most people, hear me when I say this, most people are not good people. And let me explain what I mean about that. When you see people who are philanthropists, for example, let's take people who donate a lot of money to charity, people who always recycle, people who do community service, this, that, and the other, self-included. And I know this one personally because I got hubris for it. A lot of people are out here just doing things to look good. Once again, similar to the previous point, you're doing things to look good. That doesn't make you a good person. Doesn't. If you don't genuinely... There was a time period where at my work outside the office, there used to be homeless people. A year or 2 ago, there used to be homeless people outside the office. I would walk downstairs, you know, we'd have lunch here. Then the food that was there, I would bring it down to them. I'd get them something from Tim Hortons. I'd bring it down to them. I'd put on Snapchat, put on Instagram. Super bag of me to do that. That's a waste man thing to do. Because that's not me doing that because I'm doing it. When you do it because you're doing it, you just do it. You know what I'm saying? You just do it. Not because you want anything out of it. Similarly to people who repost businesses online, to people who support businesses. You sit there, you just do it. Again, Devandria, the Davi effect, Jordy who does my retwists, I will never be sitting here asking her for a discount. I can't do that. Because that means I actually do not support her. That means I'm not a good person. If I'm supporting her business fully, I will pay like a customer. If I'm feeding the homeless, and then I'm just feeding the homeless, why does the world have to see them feeding the homeless? Again, I have to hug an L on that one. That was me. Because you know what happened? I was posting it, showing off in a way, you know? Like that's trying to, obviously not intentional, but that's what it comes off as. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all it looks like when you're doing that. Again, we're not doing that one day. Well, downstairs just a fat, super duper, absolute AAA, double XL size dookie doo pie on the fucking front of the office, dog. Hug the L. Want to show off out here? That's what's gonna happen. So that's what I mean when I say a lot of people aren't good people. Because I'm sorry, you're not a good person for doing that. You're not a hero. I get it. Again, lives are boring. I get it, you know, but again, you gotta understand that, you know, again, just hug your boring wastesuit life, you know, you're not ambitious. You're not. Here's another harsh truth. We have never in our lives, everyone who is alive today, have never in our lives witnessed a true leader. I explain what I mean by that. A leader is someone who gets on the front lines with the people who follow them. Go headfirst into battle. Whatever it is you're fighting for, whatever country you're leading, whatever task you're doing, I have not seen, I would not even to be an arrogant fuck, but I consider myself a leader. I like to put myself in it. People should not be there doing shit by themselves. But I can almost guarantee you that the people alive today have not seen a true leader. Don't pretend like you have. You've not seen a true leader. You haven't seen them things. And again, there are some people who did shit in the past. That doesn't mean they're not a leader. We just haven't seen it. I'm sorry, like you could from the Queen Elizabeth II to Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Trump, Trudeau, like, name who you want to name. These people are not leaders. I'm sorry. Joe Biden isn't in the field putting in work. I'm sorry. Justin Trudeau is in the House of Commons sucking dick. He's in the House of Commons eating ass, bro. He's not here on the front lines. He's not down here with us in the trenches, He's not down here doing that. Leaders are down here doing that. Leaders are actively doing something. These guys don't lead. They rule. They tell what to do. They sit there and they point fingers and tell other people to do that. Leaders don't do that. Leaders don't point fingers at anyone but themselves. We have not seen a leader. There are people who may have leadership qualities, still doesn't make you a full-fledged leader. You must learn. You do that. You must learn. You must sit there and you must put in that work. You must show people that you can lead. I believe there are leaders out there. Just again, on the global scale and the large scale. You can lead. I believe there are leaders out there. Just again, on the global scale and the large scale, everyone who's alive today, I'm so sorry, we have not even witnessed a leader. We have not witnessed that. We haven't, bro. Very simple. Next truth was a 7 or the 8? 8? Something like that. A next truth that I'll guarantee I'll put money on this, that, people need to understand, that people really, actually need to understand. People need to get this. Need to. Nationalism contributes tremendously to things like racism, to things like segregation, to things like war, poverty, famine, genocide. Nationalism contributes to that. What do I mean when I say nationalism? What is nationalism? Well, nationalism is usually, I like to see it as an extension of patriotism. You love your country, this and that, which is great. But nationalism's like, my country, is the best. My country is the country, the division. When you look at nationalism, I think of a lot of African countries. I think of places like that. It's literally nationalism is literally you only care about your country and fuck every other country. That's pretty much what nationalism is. And this is the problem. Again, I mentioned the continent of Africa. There are so many countries in Africa. There's so many countries, from Zimbabwe to the DRC to Zambia to Namibia to Sudan, South Sudan, Egypt to Algeria, to Niger, Nigeria, Ethiopia, Somalia, you know what I mean? To everything in between, Cameroon, Chad, you know what I'm saying? All the countries there, if we just work together, instead of ignoring each other, a lot of shit could happen that wasn't happening before. This nationalism that divides us so much. Black people, brown people, Asian people, you know what I mean? It's disgusting. You ever see European white people and North American white people meet? There's this weird tension between them. Again, that's the type of shit that I'm talking about. And nationalism, we have to admit at some point, I don't know why this is so hard to admit, again, I am not a nationalist. the countries that my heritage are from, Jamaica and Trinidad, I want them to work in harmony. I would like all the Caribbean countries to work in harmony. Something happens in Haiti, that's Haiti's problem. Something happens in Jamaica, it's Jamaica's problem. Something happens in Guyana, it's Guyana's problem. Similar to a lot of these countries around the world, most countries, it happens there, that's their problem. I'm not a part of it. This isolationist bullshit. Only when it interests them. America, only when it interests you. When it's about destroying a country, getting oil, when it's about removing someone from power that you don't want there, or placing someone in power, like ISIS perhaps, in a country that you want to take control of, then all of a sudden it matters. This is the key thing of nationalism, only caring about your country's interests. Whether it means destroying another country, as long as it's a completely selfish idea, and it reinforces all these different isms, the racism, the segregation, you know, the all these different things. It enforces that, and that's just a harsh truth. A lot of nationalists out there, black, white, blue, green, so many different, you know, like all the races around the world, they're nationalists. But I want you to, you know, maybe this could be your little homework for this episode. Maybe go online and really, you know, look at the definition of nationalism. This is exactly what I said. And then think about times in history maybe you learned about in school. Maybe that you just learned on your ones. Maybe you watch a lot of YouTube videos. Maybe you're into that clickbait, you know. Think about it, and think, I wonder what times in history where these things happen, and these things have been detrimental to like all of us on a very large scale. That's a very harsh truth that people have to understand. Again, another harsh truth that people have to understand is freedom is a word that doesn't exist and has never existed. Whether it will exist is yet to be seen, but it has never existed. There is no such thing as freedom. There isn't at all. Again, there's no such thing as freedom. Not freedom of choice, not freedom of speech. There isn't no such thing of that. Again, I'm not here to sit here and say, oh, well, you know, my opinion on freedom of speech. I'm just here to tell you the facts. Freedom is not a thing that exists at all. For anyone. It's not just race or anything like that. No one on earth has freedom. You've never been free. We have never been free. At all. If you think that there's such a thing as freedom, like I know a lot of people like to say America's the land of the free and stuff like that. You know, Canada, our national anthem is true. Was it true north, strong and free? Or something like that is in it. Nah, bro. That's wrong. Not free. Not free. Natives were murdered, burned, mass graves, unmarked graves, forgotten, stripped from their culture. Black people were beaten, raped, murdered, taken from their countries, taken from their families. You know, like there's no such thing. Why is this such a word that people love to use all the time? Freedom, like what is that, bro? It's not a thing. I'll really believe in that still. Doesn't matter to race, doesn't matter to age, doesn't matter to gender, doesn't matter what you identify as, doesn't matter what you like, what you are into, what your sex is. There is no freedom for anyone. Very simple. We have to keep fighting for it, but it doesn't exist currently. Plain and simple. And you know what? Let's end this off. One more. Bring it to 30 minutes. What comes to mind when I think of harsh truths of the world is that things like luck, things like wishing, that doesn't exist. Again, I'm not, again, you can believe in whatever religion you believe in. You can believe in these things, but people do this thing where they think that if you pray to God, that if you sit here and if you vote, and if you just believe, and if you pray, and then that is what what they call manifesting, and then it'll happen. No. That is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my fucking life. The way it works, and I've said this before, and I'm gonna say it again. The way that it works is obviously you pray, you speak it into existence. Speak it into existence, meaning you say it out loud, you say it to yourself, you believe in yourself, you believe that this is going to happen, and then you work towards it. In what generation, in what world, in what fairy tale fucking land do you live in where you think that you could wake up and shit just comes handed to you? No, I am sorry, that has never happened. Even people who have gone viral, you think it's a stroke of luck, but these same people who have been putting out videos and videos and videos on work and art and work and work and work and putting in work, nothing happens. And if you think it happens, I want you to look at all the times where people have got quote-unquote luck, and then lost it all in an instance. That means there is no luck. I'm sorry. I personally do not believe in luck. If you want to be stupid and believe in that, you could fucking do that. Not my business, but if you're listening to this, I'm sorry. Luck is not a thing. Luck is not a thing. You are misguided. You're misguided, my brothers and sisters. You are. This is not a thing that exists. You cannot, again, you cannot sit here and believe in wishing and believe that just sitting around doing nothing is going to do something. Work towards everything that you want.
Pocket.com.